Hello everybody. I had a wonderful day today. As those of you who have watched my video saw, it turned out really nice. I did have one thing happen towards the end that I do want to tell you about. Not to be a complainer, but I want to leave you with the decision that you can make yourself. As you can see, I am not a spring chicken. And I'm not a chicken at all, as a matter of fact. And I'm more of a buzzard. But anyhow, besides all that, the thing is I chose to go back a more direct route to my house. And it was just before 5 o'clock. It had less hills, but no shade. The heat index was 95 degrees. The real temperature was 92 degrees. Since they took out half of my right lung, I can't handle the heat. And they told me that when they got done operating on me, they said, you won't be able to handle the heat ever. So anyhow, I was in distress. I was having a medical problem, almost to the point of an emergency. I was sweating profusely, getting confused and dizzy, and I was already tired from riding. I rode a little further than what I should have on a first ride. And I came across this McDonald's right beside the Benjamin Hooks Library. That's the main library in Memphis. And so anyhow, I saw the sign and it said billions and billions sold. And I remember when I was a kid that it only used to say, over 1 million sold. And I didn't buy all those hamburgers, to make it billions and billions. But I have bought over the years my share of McDonald's food. I don't necessarily like McDonald's food. It's a lot better. It used to be a lot better then than it is now. But anyhow, it's my least favorite of the fast foods. But I was in need of water. So I have my oxygen machine, and as you can see, this thing is pretty good size, and it's tied on the back of my bike. Alright, it's tied on the back of my bike, and I have the hose running. I was wearing suspenders, and I had the hose running under my suspenders, up the back of my head, around my head like this rather than under my chin, and my helmet on and my sunglasses on. And you could see that I was on a nice bicycle, so I'm not some street urchin out there bumming. I may look like one, with this, but I'm not one. And anyhow, I clean clothes. I had on clean clothes, and well, they were until I sweated in them. So anyhow, I wasn't going to leave my bike parked out front and have to unpack my machine and go through the hassle of taking all this stuff off and then go in and fill my water bottles. I said, surely if I go through the drive-through line like everybody else and ask them nicely, they will put a little ice, maybe, or at least for sure water in my water bottles, because I'm so hot, I'm about to have a heat stroke, or heat exhaustion at least. And I have had a heat stroke before when I was 17, almost killed me. And I was out for 3 days, man. They had to give me alcohol baths to get my core temperature down. It was bad. Throwing up, you don't want a heat stroke. And if you've ever had one, you're more susceptible to having them the rest of your life. Same with heat exhaustion. So, also, like I think I've told you, when they took my lung out, my right lung out, they told me I'll never be able to handle the heat again. And so I went, and I was not handling the heat. The heat index was 97, and the regular temperature was 92, excuse me. And so, and it was humid, and there was no shade the way I was coming back, but it had less hills and more direct route to come home. So there's nowhere to get out of the sun. So I went through the drive-through, but behind the cars, didn't cut in front. And I asked the lady nice at the speaker, I said, "Ma'am, I'm having a medical problem. I need to have you, if you will please, fill my water bottles with water. I'm on an oxygen machine. I'm hooked up to it. It's tied on my bicycle. I cannot come in the store. You know, I can't bring my bike in. I just want you to just put a little ice would be great, but at least water in my 2 water bottles so that I don't have a heat stroke." "Oh, we can't do that." I said, "Ma'am, please." She said, "Well, just drive forward and let me look." So I get up there and she goes, "No, can't do it. You have to be in a vehicle." I said, "Ma'am, if I was in a vehicle, I'd turn the air conditioner on." You know, you know, I just want water. It's not going to cost you anything, you know, nothing. Just a little water. If you could put ice in it, all the better. But ma'am, can you see that I'm sweating like crazy? I'm fixing to get sick. All right. Well, I can't do it. Against our policy. I said, "That's fine, ma'am. You give me your name, and you give me the phone number for corporate, and I'll talk to them about it." She went like this, and he said, "Well, I'm a manager." And I said, "Well, I don't care. I want your name, and I want the corporate number, Miss Manager." And she said, "Well, let me go get the big manager." So she went and got the real manager. Real manager came back and said, "No, we can't do it. No, can't do it. We ain't gonna do it." He says, "Ma'am, I'm having a medical emergency out here. I just want water." Well, it won't cost you anything to give me water. You know, I'm an old man. I'm 65 years old, and I'm having a medical problem. I need water. I'm about to have a heat stroke. "Nope, can't do it." I said, "Well, ma'am, I want you to give me your name and give me the corporate phone number." And so she got kind of smart with me and grabbed a paper sack, and then she says, "Do you have a pen?" And I says, "Yes, ma'am, I have a pen." And I didn't tell her, but my pen probably costs as much as she makes in a week. And that's just one of them. Here's another one that probably costs as much as she makes in a week. So anyhow, these are fountain pens, and they're not cheap ones. Anyhow, she didn't want to give me her name, but she did, and I said, "I don't want that other woman's name." "Oh, I'm vouching for her." "I don't care. I want her name." She gave me her name. And I said, "Okay, well, I'm going to be calling, I'm going to ask you one more time to give me some water. Just water. That's all I'm asking for. You know, just human kindness, just water. And if you don't, then I'm going to take it up with your corporate." And so she refused. You know, Jesus said that if you give so much as a drink of water to one of my disciples, you've done it unto me. Well, I happen to be a disciple of Jesus Christ. So They don't know that, and I didn't tell them that. So they refuse Jesus, water. But none of that, let me ask you something. When did McDonald's put corporate policy or making money above human kindness? Would you want your 65-year-old father who is having a medical problem refused water, just water? I didn't ask him for a Coke. I didn't ask him for, I had money. He said, you have to buy something. Oh, so if I buy something, then you'll serve me on a bicycle, right? But if I just want water, you won't serve me, you know? So when did this happen? When is it, you know, more important to have a corporate policy, you know, and would you want your dad done that way? Would you want to be done that way? Would you do somebody that way? Somebody you could see it as having a medical issue and is on oxygen and is tied to the bike and, you know, can't come in, and all they want is water. Just water. Now, you make up your mind if you want to deal with a corporation, McDonald's, who does people that way. Because I'm telling you, I wasn't rude to them at all. I got firm with them when they told me no for the last time, and then they didn't want to give me their names. And I got firm with them, you know. But I wasn't rude. I didn't cuss. I didn't raise my voice. And I told them I was going to take it up with corporate. And I called and talked to customer care, and they said that they're going to have the franchise owner call me. And I'm going to have a little talk with him. You know, because I'm going to tell you something. All up and down Poplar Avenue, there are Wendy's and Arby's and Burger Kings and Five Guys and Yums. There's 100 different places I could spend my money to get something to eat besides at a McDonald's. And what one McDonald's does is a reflection on what all of them do, in my opinion. Okay? So you make up your mind if you want to support McDonald's, because I want to tell you something. This could happen to you. You could be, if I'd have fallen out in their parking lot with a heat stroke, would they have even come out there? You know? Would they have brought me water then? Would they even have called me an ambulance? I made it home. I had to stop about 15 times. And boy, I tell you what, I was hot, boy. My core temperature was up there. My pulse was racing into like 120. I got a thing I can put on my finger. And that's a sign that, you know, you're overheated, you know. So, rant's about over. I've given you the facts. Now it's up to you to decide for yourself if this is the kind of corporation that you want to deal with. Because like I said, folks, this could happen to your uncle, your brother, you, your dad, your mother. You know, it could happen. And it happened to me, and I was surprised. I explained to them, look, I've been shopping with you since I was 8 years old. You know, we used to go to McDonald's when I was a little kid. And it's no telling how many thousands of dollars I've spent with you. And you won't give me a drink of water? My God, how much trouble would it be to fill a man's water bottle? You know, I wasn't asking them to, you know, come out and wash my bike and give me a shower and a big old hug and, you know, and feed me and, you know, and I didn't ask them for nothing. Just water. When did water becomes like where you just can't, it's everywhere. You can't give it away. You can't give a person a drink of water. My goodness. It's shameful. It really is. It's disgraceful. And shame on you, McDonald's. Shame on you for doing people that way and for putting company policy and profits over human kindness and over customers. And let me tell you something. Without customers, you won't have a business. You treat your customers like crap, they'll go to one of them other places just down the street. Just right down the street. And you'll never see them again. And so it's up to you, McDonald's. You need to turn it around, buddy. You need to get your ducks in the huddle and have a talk with your managers and say, if you see somebody, I don't care if he's riding a unicycle wearing a clown suit, if he asks for a drink of water, just give it to him. Just give it to him. There wasn't a long line behind me. I wasn't holding up people. You know what I mean? Just give him a drink of water. It's no big deal. So, anyway, you make up your mind is what you want to do about it. Most of you probably go, yeah, I ain't gonna do nothing about it. That's fine. I just had to get it off my chest and share with you, because if it happens to you, don't be surprised. You've been warned.